What's up, guys? I'm right here with my friend Astro. We're gonna react to a video that I debated this clown right here. So, Astro, what is your thoughts on this guy, man?
Hello guys, I'm Astro. You probably know me from Discord, so I don't need to introduce myself. Yeah, I mean, it was 6 minutes, and you watched, and it was just embarrassing. That's all I can say.
Yep. We're gonna be watching this
Yeah,
together and then comment a little bit on this. And
yeah,
yeah, so let's get it started.
You got?
let's go.
Very good, man. So first and foremost, man, how are you? You good?
I'm blessed. Alhamdulillah.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, man. Honestly, you said prove Islam false. So, are you Sunni?
I do adhere to the Quran and the Sunnah, yes.
Okay, cool. With that being said, my problem with Islam
Who's
would be
Quran and Sunnah?
philosophically on
That's
Aqidah.
begging the question. You see, like
Yeah,
he says that he adheres to Quran and Sunnah, but who's Sunnah? Shia Sunnah, Sunni Sunnah, which one? They're
exactly.
like different. Yeah,
He's just begging the question, and then he's making these cringe
yeah,
faces. Like, bro,
yeah.
it's more cringe. But let's get to it, though. You're right, though.
I would like to discuss Allah versus like the Trinity, if you'd like. Would you like to
Oh,
have?
and just for a bit of context, I was just getting out of work and I was on my friend's TikTok account. He told me, he's like, "Yo, this guy's debating, so hop on him." So I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna hop on and debate him on his phone or whatever." And the cringe face right there is killing me. But um, keep in mind, I was just coming out of work. I didn't have anything planned, so it's just embarrassing how this guy admitted to composition and God, and you'll see the argument in a minute. But pretty bad.
Have a discussion why Allah is illogical?
You think Allah is illogical, and you're a Trinitarian?
Yes. There's
I don't see the problem. Well, like
Yeah,
Astro, what's the
basically.
problem?
Yeah, this just like a common Muslim thing when they hear Christians say, "Oh, they're Trinitarian," and they start like mocking Christians
Yeah,
for holding to the Trinity because they think that Tawhid is perfect. There are no logical problems with it. I mean, specifically the Sunni model, but Trinity. Oh, no. We cannot say Trinity because that's just nonsense. And
right.
this is like the attitude of almost all Sunni Muslims, even those ignorant ones, when they don't even know what the doctrine is, but they still call it ridiculous. But as we'll see, the ridiculous doctrine is not the Trinity, it's his
It's
Tawheed.
his Tawhid, and you'll see in a minute how he falls into composition, and he
Yeah.
tries to justify, which is crazy, which is an
Hmm.
argument everyone should be using against the Tawhid. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
correct.
That's like the fourth opposite of. That's like the fourth contradiction I've heard today. All right, go ahead.
Cool. So let me.
It's a contradiction to believe in the Trinity. Like,
Yeah, I
okay,
mean, yeah, that's the Muslim belief,
yeah,
so let's
Me,
see. Yeah.
first and foremost, to critique your God's
Please do
position,
me a
I have
favor.
to
Do me a
know.
favor. Just please don't go on for like 8 minutes, like the last guest or the one of the last guests we had.
No, that's fine. If you have questions, just interrupt me or just tell me when you want to talk or
But
whatever.
at the same time, please, I need you to make a. You can explain it if you'd like. Just please make a clear argument. Don't go on and on and on until I have to make you. I have to force you to stop and make an argument. You know what I'm saying?
No worries. Yeah, I got you. But first, I want to know: are you Athari or Ashari? This is very important.
This is going to be about the sifat of Allah. I know it is. I already can see. You guys are way too predictable. I'm an athari.
Athari. Okay. So you adhere to a real distinction between the attributes and the essence of God, no?
Yeah.
Okay. If there's a real distinction between the attributes and God, right? Namely, like for example, an attribute of power, attribute of wrath, an attribute of whatever, right? And I'm assuming you're going to say these attributes are inseparable from Allah, right?
Yeah, just make your argument, dude.
The argument is, right, how does this not involve God to be composed in parts, right? Composition and God would be like an argument right here.
Am I loving? Do I have love?
You do have love. Are you identical to love, though?
One second. Please just don't jump again. I have love, right?
Yeah.
I also can be hateful, right?
Yes.
What's the problem?
The problem is that you're composed in parts. But that's not a problem for you because you're a creature.
Excuse
God-
me. Excuse me. You think I have like you think I'm like made up of Legos? Like I have a piece of love here and I have a piece of hate, and I just put them together.
So, yes, that's what creatures are. You're composed of body and soul, right? You have a hand, you have a beard. These are parts of you, right? They compose who you are.
My love, yeah, love is not. Yeah, my beard is a physical, tangible thing. Love is not tangible.
Okay, that's fine. It's a metaphysical composition.
Fine, great. So you think well,
the thing that he said, fine, great. Like,
Yeah,
he just admitted to metaphysical composition. And for everyone,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah, and for everyone that doesn't know, right, God cannot have any sort of composition, as it will entail dependency and parts, right? So we can't
yeah,
have
that's
that.
right.
And he just, he was like, yeah, and okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's equating metaphysical and physical composition and thinking that, oh, when we say that these are parts, those parts must correspond to physical parts. But
Right.
that's not our argument.
Correct.
And that, yeah, God has to be free from all sorts of composition, otherwise you'd be dependent. Yeah.
Right. Right. We, for example, Astro, could you give a example for everyone that doesn't know? What is an example of dependency on a human, like to demonstrate composition?
Yeah, so for instance, like our essence, the essence of humanity is composed of various attributes like knowledge, will, power. Now our essence is not identical to these attributes. Why? Because these attributes are real distinct from one another and from the divine from sorry, our human essence. So if you take away these attributes from our essence would be powerless. I am
Exactly.
powerful only insofar as there is a super added attribute of power to my essence.
Mm-hmm.
So my essence is not powerful through itself, it is powerful through another.
And
So that means my essence is actualized by something other than itself, which is why I'm not
exactly.
pure act. I'm composed of potency and act. But if that was the case in God, then God would be composed of potency and actuality. But that's impossible because then there would be something that would actualize God. But,
Mm-hmm.
but in that case, God's essence wouldn't be simple and perfect because anything that is actualized means that it was imperfect and there was an act which perfected that imperfection in it. So it's impossible for God's essence to be distinct from his attributes because then in that case, God's essence would be actualized by them.
Exactly. And that's the same argument that I'm making here. Your God is
Yeah.
composed of parts. He's not
Hmm.
identical to his attributes. Therefore, he
Yeah,
relies
exactly.
on something other than himself to,
Yeah.
be all powerful.
Yeah, the actuality of God being powerful, knowing, willing, loving,
Hmm.
merciful, just, all comes from something uh, outside his essence, namely those really distinct, eternally united attributes to his essence.
Exactly. But this
Yeah.
this clown right here doesn't know that. So, but
Yeah, he doesn't know that.
let's get back into it.
What's like? You think love? So what's like? Let me get this straight. My love, my knowledge, my hatred. You think these are all like Legos that come together?
I don't. What do you mean by Legos? Like a physical thing?
You said parts. Whatever
It's
you want to call them.
okay. It's not a physical thing, but these things do compose who you
Didn't
are.
say they were physical. Stop jumping the. Stop straw manning me. But you believe that these are all like you think God is like you think I'm a puzzle now?
I think your God's a puzzle, and you too. Yes, of course.
You think love as a puzzle piece, and then hate is a puzzle piece.
And for everyone, yes, that's my argument. Your God is composed, and you are too. There's no difference between you and your God. You're both creatures. That's my point.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my
Yeah.
point.
Really,
I
really?
mean, are you okay? So, are humans loving?
Yeah.
Okay, can we still be humans without the attribute of love?
I don't know if love is a necessary attribute of a human, but
Okay, now you're playing dumb, man. Come on, that's a composition. That's a Lego thing that composes who we are. Come on. Same thing.
I don't know if I would agree that love is a necessary attribute of a human being. But regardless,
Are you serious? Okay. Now, that's fine.
One second. Do you believe that rapists are loving?
They have an attribute of love too. Every human has love or has an attribute of loving.
Okay, but again, do you believe that the mustache man was loving?
Who's that?
The mustache man from Germany.
Oh, that guy. I mean,
I can't say his name on TikTok.
he has hate too, but obviously he had love too. This is an obvious thing.
You believe that the mustache man was loving?
I mean, define love. Did he love others?
You're the one. For God's sake, you're the one using this attribute of love.
Yes,
me.
I'm telling you, all humans have the attribute of love. I mean, even the mustache man has this attribute.
Okay, we're kind of digressing, to be honest. But look, very simple. Very simple.
My point is this: that your God is composed.
You think? One second. Do you think that God Almighty having more than one attribute? You think an entity having more than one attribute is like being made up of pieces? So
No.
So if God is all loving, not all loving, the most loving. Excuse me. That's
The most loving.
God is the most loving. God is the most merciful. God is the most just. God is the patient. You think these
That's
are
not
all
the problem.
puzzle? You think that makes God a puzzle piece?
No, I don't. Here's the problem. The real distinction between the attributes and God. That's the problem that makes God.
Again, one more time. God is the most loving. God is most merciful. God is most just. God is all knowing. Does that make God out of a puzzle?
Not okay. Again, the distinctions is what make it into a puzzle. It depends. Are
Do you
these
believe love is equal
attributes?
to love is equal to hate?
What do you mean equal to hate? Like
You know
identity?
exactly what I mean. Does love equal hate?
Do you mean love does not equal hate? No.
So you just distinguish between love and hate.
Yes. Yes.
You have a problem with distinguishing between God's attributes. Now you're distinguishing between attributes.
No, because I don't affirm my God has hate.
God doesn't hate people.
Not in the sense that you're thinking. He doesn't have an attribute of hate, right? When we distinguish
One more time. Does God hate people?
in a different sense than what you think. Let me explain what I mean.
God in any way hate people.
In a way where his justice is performed through creating the fact that
It's no wonder you think it's not.
Right here, I want to make it clear. He interrupted me. What I said is that God, right, performs justice, right, or the attribute of justice, right, has a created effect that is called wrath, right, and this is the part where he didn't let me speak, right. Again, God's justice exercises through a created effect called wrath. That's the hate that I'm talking about. So it's not a attribute identical to the essence.
Yeah, exactly. So when we say hate, we do not mean a passion passion, like somebody out of anger does something, as in the case of humans. That's not what we're saying when we say that God hates somebody. Rather, when we say that God hates, that's just a divine decree or the divine act of willing to punish someone. Or as Saint Thomas says, the hate is predicated of God metaphorically insofar as in willing their good, he wills he wills contrary evil not to be. So that's what it means for God to hate people.
Right, right.
It doesn't mean a proper passion like when we get into a fight and we get angry. That's not what we mean when we say that there's hatred in God. Properly speaking, God doesn't have any hatred
Right.
because
And
God is pure goodness, and the notion of being pure good is opposed to hatred.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's no wonder you think hate doesn't make sense, because even the simplest things don't make sense to you. So all these simple things don't make any sense.
No. Okay, let me ask you this.
With all due respect, I don't think it's still hate. I think it's you, because I'm asking you if God hates, and you can't even answer. Does God hate?
I'm answering. God hates in a different way. It's not identical to his essence to hate.
I don't care which.
That's what I'm telling you.
which way you think he hates. Does he hate?
Okay, in a sense, sure. But
Right.
in your
What do you
way,
mean?
it's
You have-
identical to.
I don't care which way you think it is. That doesn't matter. God hates. Therefore, God has the attribute of being able to hate. Right?
No, he doesn't have an attribute of hate. I don't affirm that. I told you this in the beginning. I don't affirm that.
Have a nice day. I don't got time for this, guys. I'm sorry. I don't got time for this.
and he kicked me out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, it's pretty embarrassing, and it's like average FRE. So none of them have any answers whatsoever to our arguments.
Yeah.
All of them just say, "Oh, but God has the multitude of attributes. So how can that compose God?" Well, the problem is not that God doesn't have multitude of attributes. We affirm that God has all perfections.
Yep.
Problem is that when you start distinguishing them in reality, that's when you
Exactly.
get into a problem.
right, and that's what I mentioned. I said no. It's not the.
Yeah.
It's not the point that. It's not the problem that he has many attributes. No. The thing that causes the problem between my philosophy and your metaphysics is, or our metaphysics, is that you affirm a real distinction, a real lack of identity between the attribute and the essence. That's the problem right there.
Mhm.
You know,
And like, yeah.
that's what I was
Like,
trying to say.
yeah, that's right. And like properly speaking, like aesthetics don't even have any metaphysics. They just go full on Mysterians all the time when they can't respond to something, and they basically believe in a contradiction, but they just don't want to say that it's a contradiction. It's just
Exactly.
bilake. Anything that you say, any argument you bring up, and they cannot deal with it, it's just bilake.
Exactly. Allah knows best, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, appealing to mystery is fine. Like we say
Sure.
that the Holy Trinity is a mystery,
Absolutely.
but we do not believe that Trinity is a mystery in the sense that it's a contradiction, so we equal to mystery.
Exactly, and that's the problem with
Yeah.
their quote unquote
Yeah.
tawhid or their philosophy or their metaphysics. They appeal to mystery to escape contradictions. We don't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't do that.
But we appeal to mystery because our minds are unable to come to know the Trinity via natural reason, not because there's a contradiction in the Trinity that forces us to become Mysterians.
Exactly.
That's a big difference between the two, which atheists miss all the time.
Exactly. And this is why, guys, I'm always telling you, at least in my opinion, Shias have a better philosophy than the Sunnis. So
Absolutely, yeah, because Shias, just like us, believe in divine simplicity, but Sunnis don't. All of Sunnis rejected, so Maturidis, Asharis, and Atharis. There was a minority in Asharis and Maturidis which accepted it, and there were some Sunni philosophers who also accepted this, like Avicenna, like
Mm-hmm.
Sohrawardi, and some other philosophers. But that sect just went extinct. And then in Shiism, obviously, it's dogmatic to believe in divine simplicity. So according to Shia Imams, if you don't accept simplicity, you're basically a kafir. You're an unbeliever.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty much it though. What did you
Mhm.
think about the debate though? Do you think it was good, or what did you think about it?
Good as in like a thoughtful debate? Of course not, because the guy was just being a clown. But
True.
in the sense that like it shows how weak Islamic metaphysics, especially um the more common Sunni sects are. Yeah, it was good in the sense that it exposes their weak theology and their inability to respond to our arguments.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I had people telling
Yeah.
me like, yeah, you should debate this guy. So I mean,
Yeah.
I try to be a genuine guy and a very charitable person, a good person. But
Mhm. Yeah.
honestly, Dawa or Dunya, he's kind of trash.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
that's just the
I've seen a
truth.
couple of his videos, and they're just terrible.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. So.
Yeah. Hmm.
Well, anyways, that was all for today. I'm gonna link your Twitter down below so they can follow you
Oh,
right
thank
there
you.
too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was a good discussion, man. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Sure. No problem. Thank you too.
God bless you, man.
God bless, guys. God bless you too.